Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. We're going to begin today with the politics lead in today's installment of Donald Trump's controversial comments. The big question today, tongue-in-cheek or foot in mouth? The Republican presidential nominee now saying that he did not mean literally that President Obama founded ISIS when he repeatedly said that President Obama founded ISIS literally. And when he was pressed that surely he didn't mean it literally, he said, "Oh no, I mean it literally." But today, this tweet, ratings challenged CNN reports so seriously that I call President Obama and Clinton the founder of ISIS and MVP. They don't get sarcasm, he asks? Well, maybe he's right. Maybe we don't get it. Maybe our Chandler Bing from Friends sarcasm starter kit was lost in the mail and we're bereft. Could we be any more humorless when it comes to ISIS? Still, Trump's reply does fit this pattern we've seen over the past year of his everything-defying campaign to the White House, where he says whatever he wants, only to either completely deny it or shrug it off hours later. Today in Erie, Pennsylvania, Trump received some key support from Reince Priebus, the chair of the RNC. Now, that should not be all that surprising, but it is 2016. Mr. Priebus, reports suggest, is in the middle of a behind-the-scenes back and forth trying to convince the nominee to behave more nominee-like. But today, Priebus told the crowd, don't believe everything you read. Trump will win. Meanwhile, new poll numbers show Trump wilting in many battleground states. CNN's Jim Acosta is with Mr. Trump in his campaign in Erie, Pennsylvania. Today, Jim, Mr. Trump just said of this controversy he was being sarcastic, but not that sarcastic, to be honest with you. I don't know exactly where that leaves us.
Yeah, Jake, he said he was being sarcastic when he said that President Obama was the founder of ISIS, and then he said, but honestly, I'm not being that sarcastic. So, heck, we don't know anymore. But what is no laughing matter at this point is the state of this campaign, if you look at the latest polls. Have you heard the one about the presidential candidate who called President Obama the founder of ISIS?
So I said, the founder of ISIS. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Then, but not that sarcastic, to be honest with you.
Donald Trump says that one-liner is more stand-up than stump speech.
Barack Obama is the founder. He got everybody out, and he let them know when, and we're leaving. He is the founder in a true sense.
Just kidding, says Trump, who asked a certain television network in a tweet, they don't get sarcasm? That explanation follows ample opportunities to clear up what he meant.
I know what you meant. You meant that he created the vacuum, he lost the peace.
No, I meant he's the founder of ISIS. I do.
But it's more of a head-scratcher than a knee-slapper to even his own top surrogates.
His candidacy is the imprecise language. He sometimes uses 3 words when he needs 10. I know what Trump has in his mind, but that's not what people hear. And I think he has got to learn to use language that has been thought through and that is clear to everybody.
The GOP nominee's attacks on the president come as reminders surface that Trump also wanted a quick exit from the war in Iraq.
If you were president, would you take all American troops out of Afghanistan and Iraq now?
Well, Iraq, we shouldn't have been there, and I get them out real fast. Afghanistan is not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is Pakistan.
Trump's steep drop in key battleground states is no joke. He trails by double digits in Colorado, North Carolina, and Virginia, but he's hanging on in Florida. The slide follows days of damaging moments like this one in Florida when he asked Russia to hack into Hillary Clinton's email server.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
Trump said that was sarcasm, too.
And I obviously was being sarcastic. In fact, the people in the room were laughing. They found it very funny. Everybody knew that.
But it's a pattern that makes it hard to determine when Trump is playing it straight on important policy issues, like whether U.S. citizens could be tried for terrorism at the detention center at Guantanamo. Trump says they should, even though that's a departure from current U.S. laws.
I know that they want to try them in our regular court systems, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I would say they could be tried there. That would be fine.
And Donald Trump did get a strong show of support from RNC Chair Reince Priebus, who made a surprise appearance at this rally. Reince Priebus sounded all in on Donald Trump before this big crowd here in Erie, Pennsylvania, Jake. But there was one protester in the crowd who tried to disrupt Donald Trump as he was talking here. Donald Trump at one point said to that protester, "I suppose this was sarcastic too. Go home to mother. And by the way, your mother is voting for Donald Trump." We should expect Donald Trump to take on a more serious tone on Monday when he's scheduled to deliver a speech on terrorism in Ohio. Jake.
Okay, so we're at the Yo Mama stage of the campaign. Appreciate it. Jim Acosta, appreciate it.
We're at that stage.
Joining me now is my panel, Bill Kristol, editor of the conservative publication The Weekly Standard, who is not a fan of Donald Trump, CNN political commentator and Donald Trump supporter Kayleigh McEnany, and CNN political commentator Van Jones, who is a former Obama administration official and supporting Hillary Clinton. Thanks, one and all. We are going to talk about Hillary Clinton in a few minutes, but let's focus right now on Donald Trump, if we can. Kayleigh, I want to play back for you what he said over the last 2 days when he was given an opportunity to clarify what he meant when he was talking about Obama and Hillary being the founders of ISIS. Take a listen.
Last night, you said the president was the founder of ISIS. I know what you meant. You meant that he created the vacuum. He lost the peace.
No, I meant he's the founder of ISIS. I do. He was the most valuable player. I give him the most valuable player award. I give her, too, by the way.
But he's not sympathetic to them. He hates them. He's trying to kill them.
He was the founder.
Some people are saying maybe not the founder, but possibly he's an enabler of ISIS, where I think you might get some agreement even on the Democrat side.
Well, I'd call him a founder.
Some real effort there from members of the conservative media to try to throw him a lifeline and bring him back from saying what is obviously factually not true about who founded ISIS. Shouldn't he pick his words more carefully? I mean, a president can move markets, can start wars with his words.
No, I don't think so. And in fact, I'm glad he didn't take it back, because McCain would have taken it back. Romney would have taken it back. They had a history of dialing back things and looking very weak on these issues. Look, President Obama, like it or not, was the unintentional founder of ISIS. The intent wasn't there. His name's not al-Baghdadi. It's not on the founding documents. But indeed, he opened the chasms in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq that led to the foundation of ISIS. So unintentional founder, contributor, whatever you want to call it, the facts are there, and that is the point Donald Trump was trying to get at.
Every single one of the policies that you say unintentionally founded ISIS, Donald Trump is on record having supported. Yeah. He supported pulling out of the troops out of Iraq in 2007. He supported getting involved in Libya militarily after Gaddafi. I mean, so I guess I don't understand how you can criticize somebody for acting on the same things that you were advocating.
Well, Donald Trump, with regard to Iraq, he did want to withdraw, but he did want to negotiate an agreement, and I think he would have left to stay behind force.
That's not what he said. He said to Wolf Blitzer in 2007, pull them out, declare victory, and get out of there.
And every single time you cut and run and get out of there, you negotiate an agreement that includes, typically in all of United States history, a stay behind force that this president did not do. In Libya, he wanted a surgical takeout of Gaddafi, which is very different than what Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama did. So I would argue that there's some nuances there that put him on the right side of these issues. And indeed, he was on the right side of not getting into Iraq. He's on record 24 hours after the invasion saying that the war was a mess.
Bill, you're shaking your head.
What's so depressing about the Trump candidacy as a conservative, I don't suppose any magazine in America has devoted more pages than the Weekly Standard to criticizing President Obama's decision to simply get out of Iraq in 2011 without negotiating a force there, criticize the non-intervention in Syria, the red line on chemical attacks. How many chemical attacks have there been since that red line and since the agreement with the humanitarian disaster in Syria? Other aspects of his foreign policy. Trump discredits everything. And that is why my friends in the conservative media like you, Hewitt, they should not be giving him lifelines. It's pathetic at this point. He is discrediting conservatism. He needs to be separated and severed from conservatism. And every Republican and conservative who cares about the future of the Republican Party and conservatism needs to say now, I really do believe this, needs to say, we're not with Trump. And people who've supported him, fine. They tried their best. They tried to help him.
Paul Hillary, Bill? You're with Hillary?
No, I'm
That's
not. I'm against both of them.
No, you're with Hillary. Why am I
with Hillary?
It's a binary choice.
Oh, come on.
Yes, it is. Two people have a viable chance at the presidency, and those people are Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton.
And neither deserves it.
Forever, when Hillary, if she wins this nomination and appoints liberal justices, we will be asking you why you allowed that to happen.
I'm happy to take that responsibility compared to you. You're taking the responsibility of supporting a man who is utterly unfit to be president of the United States, a man you wouldn't, for a second in your personal life, tolerate, a bully, a man of genuinely bad character. Do you really feel proud to support Donald Trump? You don't. You don't. You got on this train. You hope to do the best. best. You hope to do the best for him, but you're embarrassed to support him.
I'm not embarrassed to support him. I'm embarrassed of conservatives, people who call themselves conservatives, allowing Hillary Clinton to become president and appoint liberal justices to overturn Heller.
And we're
get rid
responsible
of
for
our
those
Second
polls?
Amendment.
The Weekly
Yes, you are
Stand?
responsible.
Is that right?
You
Wow,
are
we were
responsible.
turning 10, 15 points in Pennsylvania, Colorado, Virginia. The Weekly
are
Standard
indeed
is more
responsible.
powerful than I realized.
I'm going to get to those polls in the next block. Haley, Bill, Van. Don't worry, Van. I'll get you in the next block. Stick around. Coming up, it's Trump's move, Hillary Clinton releasing her tax returns while Donald Trump continues to refuse to do the same. But what about Clinton's Wall Street speech transcripts? Where are those?